Hello and welcome back to the Success Catalyst podcast. This is Nina Robert, and here we build dreams episode by episode. Today I'm joined by Jamel Matias, a dedicated Proctor Gallagher consultant and life coach. Jamel is passionate about personal development and human potential. He helps people achieve more in life by practicing and studying the fundamental laws of our being. Jamel's journey is about empowering individuals to unlock their fullest potential and transform their lives. So stay tuned because Jamel has a lot to talk about when it comes to human potential and success. Welcome to the show, Jamel. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. That was amazing. And I'm doing amazing as well. Thank you.
Perfect. I love it. So, Jamel, tell us what first ignited your passion for personal development and human potential?
What ignited my passion? Self-discovery, I would say, at
Mm-hmm.
first, you know. It's interesting because I always knew there was more to what was happening. And I didn't know that I knew. It was a subconscious thing as a young kid growing up. Uh, you didn't know what it was, but I knew there was something more happening than what we use with our sensory factors, as you probably know. Before I get into that, though, such a great introduction because you're really good at this, so that's awesome. I like your voice and everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, what ignited my passion for it was kind of what Bob um, went through. He was wondering, why did this happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I achieve success? What is the reason for all of this success? And that question, why, is a very powerful question in many levels. And he was wondering, why did this happen to me? I was here, something changed. So I had that question very early as a child, but I wasn't wondering why things would happen. I'm wondering what is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a curious thing over time, uh, being a very optimistic and rambunctious young lad, if you will. But over time, it ignited my passion to help other people as I learned on my own about myself and the results in my life and stuff like that. So, yeah,
You
amazing
know,
journey.
yeah, that's it's all about awareness, really. And it's all about asking the right questions. Either it is why me or what is happening or why is it happening the way it is happening? Like, do I have to change something or did I change something in my awareness, my behavior, my attitude, my actions? It's a great way to find out results by asking the right questions because many people around the world are what we call unconscious competent. They're succeeding in life or they may be failing, but they don't know why. And either you're succeeding or you're failing. If you don't know why, you cannot succeed more, or you cannot teach someone else to succeed, or you cannot really fix what you're failing at. You keep failing and doing the same thing, you're doing your best probably, and you keep failing, but because you don't really ask the questions. And that was a great mentioning of Bob, because yeah, I remember he talks about asking the question like, yeah, he was succeeding, but he didn't really figured out why he was succeeding while many other people around him were failing. So it's all about really gaining awareness. So tell me more, how did you come across Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher, and what impact have they had on your personal and professional life so far?
Well, they tackled me down spiritually.
I love it.
Now, let me elaborate. At first, it's interesting because I talked about subconsciously being aware of personal development and wanting to know more as a child, but subconsciously I attracted Bob Proctor through The Secret, like many people. Um, but the funny thing is, I only saw his face. All right, and this is years prior to doing this professionally. Years, probably, wow, probably over 10 years. You know,
Wow.
and I didn't even know that was Bob. I just saw his face and heard him talking. So, after getting into The Secret, learning about that, and tapping into that type of knowledge and applying it to my life, it just kept revisiting my life, over and over throughout college, through, when I left college, when I graduated. And then, I went to the work field. The secret just kept popping up. I remember cleaning up the office in a bookcase. And I stopped, studying, and then somehow I found these it was the secret book, right?
Mhm.
Of the law of attraction. So one day I decided to just watch it again. And after watching it again, at the same time, I attracted some online webinars that Bob and Sandy were putting on.
Mhm.
And, it was very interesting times because as I attracted the law of attraction, the secret again, I attracted Bob's material like 20-fold. It was
Wow.
a lot more powerful than it was then. And, you know, speaking of attraction, it was what I needed at the time, to really tap in what I, you know what I attracted, but also what I've been blessed with to bring out, the abundance of myself. So, long story short, I attracted Bob multiple times, but the final time, that was when I listened. I got really quiet and I
Mhm.
listened, and I took action, you know,
Yeah.
with that intuition. So
It
hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this story. And I love the levels of the different levels of awareness and consciousness. You kept attracting Bob, but on different steps and on phases of your life. And when you were ready to take action, that's where you attracted the most of Bob, right? So
Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We attract what we are. You already know that. I wouldn't be adding something new here. But
Mhm.
it's all about taking action, really. You can attract whatever you may perceive or not around you, but if you don't take action, you probably won't even notice what you've been attracting to you. You could attract to yourself like the best opportunities in the world, the best partners, the best relationships, but if you're not paying attention, if you're not really making a decision, you may like totally miss this opportunity or this person or this new job or new business idea or whatever it is that you attracted to you. So attraction works all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. But you have to pay attention and you have to take action. And sometimes by taking action, you become more aware. You become more in power or like more yeah, more powerful of about the situation than when
Yeah.
you're not taking action, you're just watching life happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And first time, when I attracted Bob again, before, being a Proctor Gallagher consultant, I couldn't stop watching him. I remember it was a work night when I used to work a traditional job, 9 to 5. And I stayed up till the sun came up. I watched him, I couldn't sleep. I just kept watching and watching and listening. And, that was when I knew something very special was happening, you know.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I've had
yep.
such nights with Bob as well. Yeah, I know what it's
Yeah,
like. Yeah, it totally consumes you because it wakes up something inside of you that has never really like ideas you've never really paid attention to before and levels of awareness and thoughts of very like new and foreign kind that you're not really used to and your subconscious is like mixing up and really maybe your paradigm also is getting triggered and it's also exciting so you can't really sleep or think of anything else.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you know
remember
the
I couldn't
feeling.
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing to follow up, I had energy the whole day
Yeah.
without
Yes.
sleep.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I had the same experience. Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
I love it. And now, Jamal, you are a certified Proctor Gallagher consultant. So, can you tell me what are some key techniques and practices you use daily to align with the laws of our being?
Oh, this call can be forever.
Oh yeah.
um, One of my favorites has to be gratitude.
Mhm.
When I learned that through Sandy, writing 10 things down that I'm grateful for. I have my gratitude journal here, gratitude journal over there. I just realized the power of that. It shifts everything. I know it shifts your vibrational state, but it's different when you experience it. Right? You
Yes.
can learn these things in the conscious mind. You can read all this, you can watch all the videos, but it's different when you walk the path. and you
Mhm.
experience as a human being. So when you find that gratitude for something, it could be as simple as, a mug you had,
Mhm.
more in depth, that mug was given to you by somebody very special, right?
Mhm.
And maybe they made it for you. So you
Yes.
can be on camera with it every time. So that's a different level of gratitude. But gratitude, it's so important to me because it makes you feel good for one, and we know feeling is the secret, right? So the more you're at a higher vibrational state, the more things are given to you to be grateful for. And a lot of times it even shifts your mental state where you're not in a lack mindset, where you're
Mhm.
like, I don't have that, or I wish I had more money, or
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You're actually shifting your focus on something you do have that you attracted and it was given to you as a gift, and it shifts my perception. That's a higher
Mhm.
faculty.
Yes.
So it does a lot of things that we may not be aware of. So just one simple thing, even if you start with one thing to be grateful for every day, you can start adding things. I do 10 things I'm grateful for every morning. And throughout the day, I'll find things to be grateful for. Like my dog walks around sometimes. Sometimes when I do live stream, she'll bark or whatever
Mhm.
and cause a scene on camera. But that is a way, it's a reminder for me to be grateful for her. She's a little
Yes.
older, but we had many memories. I took her to the park yesterday, stuff like that. My daughter, she's sitting down, but she usually runs across the camera,
Mhm.
and that's a reminder to laugh, right? And
Yes.
that tells me to be grateful instead of, this has to be perfect. The perfection is the imperfection sometimes, right? So,
Yes.
of course, there's good in everything. You just have to see it. So, gratitude is a great one, that I highly recommend that I teach my clients. I also, meditation. I can't believe, I've been meditating, wow, almost 10 years now.
Wow.
And I think I'm on a 7-year meditation streak, I believe.
I
Uh,
love that. Wow.
so I can't go a day without it. So it's what it does for me, it quiets my mind.
Mhm.
Uh, because a lot of times we have so many thoughts and it's hard to hear them all. Um, and also not allow intuition to speak to you. So meditation, Tara always says slow down to speed up, and it slows me
Yeah.
down, and I
Kind of
love that.
turns down the volume of all the distractions, all the like the messy thoughts for your intuition to talk to you because intuition is talking to us all the time. We're just not listening.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah. Intuition is always speaking. And, you know, whenever Bob kept saying order of the
Yeah.
mind,
Yeah. That's
that's
very important. Yeah.
yeah, very
Definitely.
important, and
Yeah.
that goes for a lot of things too, because there's some people that suffer anxiety,
Hmm.
limiting self-limiting beliefs. A lot of that is just noise, right? And what happened is it compounds, right? When
Yes.
you're not aware
Mm.
of your own thoughts. So meditation helped a lot. I do it every day, and I know when I need to reset. So sometimes I'll do a midday or towards the evening, especially when it's good to do it before a call or before you're talking to a prospect, before you even do presentations or anything.
Mhm.
It's good to get quiet so you
Yeah.
can hear what's inside. Yeah.
And then you could stay focused and it increases your productivity like really, really well. Because yeah, when the mind is quiet, it can do amazing things. It's just such a short time. But when it's like all over the place, trying to multitask and trying to respond to that email, where like looking at statistics and hearing whatever people are saying around you and answering that WhatsApp message, you cannot really be efficient at everything. But if you're focused and if you don't really like get distracted and if you have priorities, I think this is something meditation and gratitude would also teach us to prioritize what's really important in terms of thoughts, in terms of like what's surrounding us. Do I really need to pay attention to everything? Absolutely not. And I wanted to add something about gratitude. I love what you said about gratitude. And I use gratitude in so many ways. Sometimes when I have trouble sleeping at night, I will start by like listing all kinds of things I'm grateful for, and at the end I'll just fall asleep. And the things I'm grateful for are never ending, because the more you think, the more you can see things around you that you're really grateful for, and it brings awareness to what really matters. Like when you mentioned your dog, like sometimes things like that, like the really like small things around us that sometimes really maybe like seem annoying or like not perfect, but they're really what matters at the end of the day. The small things around us, the things that are not really everlasting, like ourselves, like our life, like our health and fitness and wealth and well-being and people around us. It's like even on a physical level, gratitude has been shown to alter your state of mind and alter your molecular state. You're literally like resetting your body, and your like blood flow and everything is just vibrating in such a beautiful way. So it can only do good, and it can do tremendous amounts of good. So when you combine that with meditation, that's a winning combination. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a winning combination. And you reminded me of another exercise. I forgot where I read it. I believe you probably read it as well. Is you go through your day before you go to sleep, and you find things that you're grateful for that happened
Mhm.
in that
Yeah.
day, and that sets your vibrational state for the next day.
Yes.
Uh, and the other exercise is the pruning shears of revision. So, meaning if something didn't go the way you wanted that day, make believe, create the way you wanted it,
Hmm.
right? In your mind before you go to sleep. So, that's another thing I mentioned. I forgot where I read that, but somewhere. And meditation also allows you to clear your mind for visualization. I forgot to mention that.
Yes,
it,
absolutely. Which is
it,
crucial for manifesting whatever goal or thing we want to achieve or do.
right, exactly. Yeah, as you were talking that's a big thing. Because it allowed me to develop that muscle at a very high degree
Yeah.
when you quiet the mind and meditate. And then you can ask for guidance, but you can also use this skill of focus, the power of the will, to create whatever you want in the spiritual and metaphysical. So you get the
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, I do.
You know.
So no, I want to talk more about what you mentioned about the laws of our being. I love that term. So how do you explain this concept to someone who's maybe unfamiliar with it? And why is it important for personal growth?
Great question. The laws of our being are essentially universal laws, right? They're there before us, and they'll be there after us.
Hmm.
But the point is to understand the laws of our being, meaning understand more who you are, and this isn't something that is really taught, in traditional education institutions about, this is who you are, this is how you create, stuff like that. Universal laws, meaning I mentioned a few: law of vibration, law of attraction, uh, law of assumption, the gestation period, law of
Hmm.
vacuum. There's a lot of them. And Earl Nightingale, Bob's mentor, shared
Yeah.
plenty. And it's funny, I'm going through the new Lead the Field as well, and I remember there's a great lesson that breaks them down there. But it's important to understand it because it creates your life, it creates your future.
Yep.
But who wouldn't want to learn how to create the life they want? you
The
know?
majority of people don't know they can. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's lack of knowing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, unknowing. So
that's what we're here
unconscious.
for.
Right, right. That's what we're here for. Thank you, Nina. That's what we're here for.
That's our job. Wake up, everyone. You can literally design your life. And this is not a new thing. This is very old knowledge, as old as the universe itself. We are here as creators. We are creative beings and we can design whatever result, whatever life we want. We have all the tools, and I love what you when you call them muscles. These are mental muscles. These are our mental faculties. So we have the mental faculties, we have the laws of the universe. Everything's available, everything is free, and we could just use them to design the life of our dreams.
Yes, absolutely. You know, they're free and they were given to us to develop. And that ties into what I was saying earlier. I just knew there was something more here. It's a feeling, right?
Hmm.
You're a kid running around outside or whatever. You're connected to nature, you're happy or whatever, but something kept saying there's something more going on here.
Hmm.
You couldn't see it with your eyes or hear it, but
Yep.
you feel its presence. And I didn't know I was connected to it so long ago, but now I'm starting to understand what that was. you know.
Yep.
Um and it's funny you bring that up because that's part of the 90-day challenge where you read, one of Bob's favorite quotes, you know, God's gift to you is more talent and ability than you could possibly use in your lifetime. Your gift to God or spirit is to develop as much of that talent and ability as you can in this lifetime.
I love
So
that.
Steve Bow quote. So we've been given with this knowledge that we're sharing, you
Mhm.
can develop these to a very high degree. And why
Yep.
do it? You're shaping your life, but also your loved ones, and the
Yep.
people around you, your family. Um, it's a beautiful journey once you start understanding, you know. And you know what? When you said that, it reminded me when Bob says all the creatures, all
Mhm.
the animals, they're comfortable in their environment. They're made in their environment, and I'm an animal guy. I love nature. I watch a bunch of nature shows, Animal Planet, all of those, Discovery,
I love that.
and you learn a lot from nature, right?
Oh, yes.
So some birds, um, they adapt to their environment, right?
Mhm.
Because they can only reach certain amount of branches or certain foods are available at certain times. But long story short, they're made for their environment or they
Mhm.
adapt to the environment. We've been given the gift to create our
Yes.
environment. That's
Yes.
why we're totally disoriented, and we don't like adapt like a chameleon and turn green because
Yeah. There are so
so
many animals that have superpowers, literally, like the chameleon, and like many, many animals who have like super senses and superpowers because that's what they've got to align with their environment because they don't get to change the environment where people can build houses and like build highways and bridges and whatever and fly planes and do basically whatever they want with the environment because we are creative beings and we have the mental tools. These are our superpowers.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yep. And you know some of those superpowers, I like calling them superpowers too, or the six higher faculties or mental faculties, right? The power of our imagination. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorites. Um,
Yes.
and I've been studying them, diligently to not only help understand it for myself, but to help people with it. That's very fulfilling for me when I see somebody doing things they normally don't do, right? Because I can see that they're growing and
Mm-hmm.
stepping out of their comfort zone
Yep.
and out of whatever environment that they've been conditioned to be, limited in. Sorry, Nina, go ahead. You had a question.
No, I had a question about challenges because challenges are a part of success, and any success story has always the challenging moment. So, are there any challenges that your clients maybe faced or that you saw people going through in personal development, and how do you help them overcome these obstacles in general?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's unique, which is very special, and we all have different challenges. And I think um, a lot of us need to shift our perception on challenges because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, without this knowledge, you run away from them naturally, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
let fear kind of stop you from your own growth.
Yeah, avoidance or denial, or yeah, the easy way, or just playing the victim and blaming everybody else but yourself. And I guess people do that because they lack the awareness that they can change things. They can literally just change the perception and look at the challenge in a new way, and the challenge may become the solution, may become the better choice, maybe the best option they've got so far. Like, you get fired, or you, I don't know, lose your home, or get, I don't know, like whatever kind of challenge, or get a disease or something. And then again, you figure that after, maybe after a few years, when you look back, you'd say, wow, I wouldn't have been here if that horrible thing didn't happen a few years ago or a few months ago. So yeah, even any challenge could be really perceived differently depending on your level of awareness. And I think this is where you get to open your client's eyes and really bring awareness of, like, hey, change the perception, let's look at the thing in a different way. Is that what you
Hmm.
do?
Yes, yes, I do. And I'm so glad you mentioned that. There's so many thoughts came to mind as you spoke about that. Challenges are gifts. I
Yeah,
changed my perception on them.
disguised gifts.
Right. They're
Yeah.
gifts. And nothing happens to you. It happens for you. So it's always molding you, in a way where this thing happened for you in order for you to experience this.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing by accident,
Yeah.
you know, and it's all by design. And I didn't understand that growing up until later in my life, but I got it. So, everything that's happening for you is not happening to you, is molding you. Think of like a statue, it's building you in a
Mm-hmm.
perfect whatever you want to be. So shift your perception on challenges because they make you stronger.
Yeah.
Even confidence, I remember when I was scared to get on camera. I can
Yeah.
talk on camera 24 hours a day.
Oh my God, I'm laughing because we have the same experience. Oh my God. Like, if we
Yeah.
have met maybe a few years ago, neither of us would have had been able to have this conversation, because yeah, I've been like, I was very, very, very extremely shy myself. I wouldn't ever have been imagining myself like with a mic in front of me on Zoom talking, and now I'm doing like live events and, like, yeah, speaking at places. Oh my God. Like, if I have talked to my younger self about this, I wouldn't have believed like a word she was saying. Like, wow, you're doing this right now? What happened? So
Yeah.
what happened to you? What was the, like, the shift? What happened?
I love that. I love it. Changing your perception is essential. And this is, one of the mental faculties you can develop, seeing challenges as, oh, this was given to me.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable, but thank you.
Yeah.
You have to shift your how you see it. I was talking to you know, a potential client, and they got in a car accident, I believe about a year or so ago. Somebody hit them, and it was pretty tragic, and then they were trying to get their car repaired, and it was kind of stressful, very stressful for them. They shared with me, and of course they'll remain nameless, but what this person told me was, I wouldn't be so into Bob and these laws and reading these books unless that happened. He said, I was drawn to this material almost immediately after that.
Hmm.
And, it almost brought me to tears because I was like, you see how you were guided, to the next level of yourself. Like,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be talking if that didn't happen. So
Yes.
he got very emotional because he got to see more clearly how you can only connect the dots back, not going
Hmm.
forwards, right? And
Yeah.
it was a really good experience to share, with that question that you brought up. Yeah, about
Yeah.
challenges. Yeah.
Yeah. And challenges also, I mean, yeah, if they're making us grow, the version of us that went through these challenges are definitely not the version who, like, overcame them. So our goals change as we grow. And we know that the purpose of a goal is to help us grow and evolve and step outside that comfort zone and shift that paradigm, and all these fancy words that really are very simple to comprehend, even by a 5-year old. But simple does not mean easy, because yeah, I can understand all the concepts of the laws of the universe, and everything is so well explained, especially by Bob. But and yet there is a gap between what we know and what we do, and that's what we call the knowing doing gap, with yeah, as Bob likes to call it. So what I'm trying to say is that as we evolve, our goals evolve as well and become more and more challenging. Because I think as a person, when we grow, we become maybe stronger emotionally and more aware, so we're able to take like bigger challenges. Like if you are in the gym, the first few weeks you're not really able to do that much. You just like maybe like waking up your muscles and really like doing this mind body connection. But after a few years, you're able to take so much more weight and so much more challenge and run for many more miles because you've grown as a person. So the majority of people continue to set up small goals, like realistic, very small and foreseeable and like reachable goals. They're missing out so much in life. I don't know. What do you think about that, Jamel?
Oh, you know where I'm headed with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's three type of goals, which I'm so glad, that Bob broke that down. There's A type goals, goals we already know how to do. These are, tying your shoe. All right.
Yeah.
You already know how to tie your shoe. Brushing your teeth. I'm sure majority of people that watch this or listen are brushing their teeth. And, or using your hand to pick up a fork or a spoon, right? It's something you already know how to do. Why? That's my goal to do it again. Now, a slight goal would be to use your non-dominant hand to
Hmm.
eat with, right? Or brush your teeth with. There's a technique I do with that. But, and then there's B type goals, goals you think you can do. And these are goals that Nina is most likely referencing, right? You're
Yep.
thinking about things based on your conscious self. So you're basically wherever your awareness is right now, you're thinking, I could do that. If all
Hmm.
these things line up,
Yep.
I could do that. I think I can do that. Right.
Yeah.
Some people, maybe never use Google Meet or Zoom or whatever platform. And I think I can do that.
Hmm.
That would be a new experience for you. Now
The I
that's
can
based,
figure it out kind of goal.
right,
Yeah.
right,
I've
right.
never done
There you
it
go.
before, but I think I can figure it out.
Exactly. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And then there's C type.
Hmm.
C type goals are goals that really resonate with you, that you really wanted or really want and desire, that speak to the core of you. And you want it more than anything, right? In your life right now. And, but, you're very afraid to do that.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the big question, how am I going to do that? But I want
Yeah.
that, right?
And that's a wrong question. We're not
Right.
supposed to know the how. The how will come to us. You just need to figure out what you want and why maybe you want it. The why maybe will motivate you because you will have to do sacrifices, make sacrifices, and like put some effort, maybe some investment, some money, some time on that goal. But you have to know the why to know why you're doing all this, and you have to know the what to be specific, to be able to manifest it, to be able to attract it. We were talking about the laws of attraction, all the laws of the universe, and you have to know the what just for that. The how is none of our business.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right, Nina. You know, and usually people that don't have this type of knowledge or study it often worry about the how, right?
Yeah.
And we've been so used to thinking in that way, how am I going to do that? You know, like Nina said, let go of the how. Just let it go and pursue regardless of the fear. This is the growth that you see. And goals, we always think it's the getting, right? Achievement of that goal, but it's who you become. That's the
Yeah.
true gift. It really is.
Yeah.
And I've learned that multiple times. without knowing this knowledge. And I was like, wow, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
And now that I understand what I've been going through and what was molding me, I understand it at a higher level now. So really grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about goals is that your goal is to become the person that has the result of the goal. Once you are that person, the how and all the like the instruments or the ingredients of the goal will come to you effortlessly, easily, very quickly, but you need to become that person, and that's the true work. The only work you have to do is on yourself, your self-image among other things, and we can definitely do another episode or many other episodes talking about the self-image, and this is like one of my best parts of all these teachings because that was the main ingredient I needed to shift, to change, to incorporate, and to manage to do something about for all my results to change. Everything changed like as a result to that.
I love that. Self-image is very powerful, you know.
So talking about goals, Jamel, tell us what are your future aspirations and goals now that you are a certified Proctor Gallagher consultant? You're helping already so many people. So, how do you plan to continue helping others unlock their potential?
Well, I do a lot of live streams. I don't know if you're sharing social media. I've forgotten if you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll make sure to all your social media details so that people can interact with you.
Okay, great, great. But yeah, I do basically two live streams a week, typically, where I touch on these topics, a little more deeply.
Hmm.
Um, and I will continue to do so, but I'm looking to do some more larger scale online events coming up before, this year's going by so fast. So I have two planned each month, to help people with this material. I continue to contact people every day, that I can, whoever I see that will connect with this type of material, but also who's seeking growth as well.
Hmm.
So every day I'm contacting somebody
That's
that
wonderful.
resonates with this, because it's not it's not just us, right? It's you who watches and listens, right?
Yeah. And it's this kind of, this kind of material, when you like fall in love with this kind of teachings, you want to talk up to everybody about this because this is so huge. This is so valuable. And you can basically change everything in your life. And it's possible, it is easy and it's simple, but you need to put on the work and you need to really be, I would say, brave because changing a paradigm is never easy. And it's simple as we were saying, but never easy. And you have to, I think that my greatest takeaway from all this is that I owed it to myself to do this work. It's my responsibility, it's my duty as a human being to express my full potential. So if you don't mind, Jamel, remind us one more time about that beautiful saying that you mentioned earlier, like
Which one? There's a
about
few
our
of them.
potential, and our
Oh,
gift to God is to express as much of our potential as we can.
yes. God's gift to you, to all of us, is more talent and ability than you could possibly use in your lifetime. So
Hmm.
our gift to God or the universe or spirit is to develop as much of that talent and ability as you can in this lifetime, by Steve Bow. So, that's exactly what you're sharing here, and you're not aware of it until you come across, moments like this or type of material. Now you're aware. Now you have the responsibility to make a choice of what you've learned. What are you going to do with it? And you can easily go back in your comfort zone. Oh, that was
Hmm.
entertaining. Oh, I felt motivated. Oh, I was inspired. But, using it every day, listening every day, being open to, universal intelligence telling you where to go and giving you clarity of where to go. Some people don't know where they're going. I want to be successful. I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
What is that? I want to be happy. How do you quantify? How do you define that?
Hmm.
So who do you want to become and make a committed decision and go towards it every day? And, you know, it's funny speaking like this because sometimes this wasn't the old me would get inspired, motivated, and stop. But
Yeah.
I do growth and visualization. I know where I'm going, and now I'm at peace,
Yeah.
because I know I take steps every day. I walk by faith, not by sight,
I
meaning
love
I don't
that.
allow outside circumstances or people or anything negative affect where I'm
Hmm.
going, And speaking of that, the next goal is the circle of excellence, by the way. So I'll be,
Okay.
aiming for
Yeah.
that
Now
this
we're
year.
talking. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Love
Excited
that.
to help more people.
So many goals, and yeah, the more you achieve, the more you fulfill out of your potential, the more like you think you can do more because you've already proven to yourself. And this is why we celebrate wins every day and practice gratitude, either for things that have been accomplished or things that have not been accomplished. I have a mastermind with other consultants where we share wins and future wins and congratulate each other about our future wins. Oh, this week I'm having a sales call, so I'm signing up a new client. Congratulations, good for you. What's their name? And we were talking about them and we're helping them already, and we're already in this vibration. So things just come much easier this way. So celebrating the wins and the future wins, future gratitude, that's a huge thing as well, because you have to be grateful for you to be in that vibration, for the thing to come to you. This is so really I get really excited every time I talk about these things. So our episode comes to an end right now. It has been a real pleasure talking to you today, Jamel. I will make sure to add all your social media and your website links and everything that our listeners need to contact you and to interact with you. And yeah, you mentioned that you have webinars twice per month, so I guess that will be on your social media as well. So yeah, thanks again, Jamal, for being an amazing guest on the Success Catalyst episode.
Thank you, Nina. This has been amazing. We can do this all day, every day, once a
Absolutely.
week, anytime you want. But no, thank you so much for setting this up, and also doing what you're doing. You know, I know you had other interviews and amazing people you speak to, and amazing dialogue, and the impact that you have is tremendous. And I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jamel. And to our listeners, this was Nina Robert and Jamel Matias in the Success Catalyst podcast, and we'll see you again in the next episode.